What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It is Cleveland Terry Show. Late edition because family. Family's in the way. Family's doing what they must do. I must do what I must do for my family. So I spent a lot of time. Sorry, I just had my protein shake. So I'm just trying to work my way through the cloudy mouth. But we'll get there. Yeah, I'm, as I said before, earlier on, we've been doing these late shows because, well, this is the window that I have available. And I had to make things work to do this window. By the way, before we start, I just want to say, before we even had 10 viewers, both Jeff One and the Illest Period hooking me up with the super chat. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate every single dollar you guys send out to me. It really does show that you support me. And that's what I'm looking for. Not looking for support, but giving me reasons to keep coming back and doing the show. I'm not burning out. If you guys follow me on Instagram or you guys follow me on the show, I posted recently, because I haven't been posting on social media pretty much at all. Like at all. I have not been posting. I do go on. I do reply. You know, I comment. I'll say stuff on threads and things like that. But as far as like making content, posting, I needed to take a break. I needed to take a break. So I promised, and I've made it a point to make sure that we do our show on Thursday. Normally it's at 10:30 in the morning, but because of all the stuff that's been going on, as I said before, my daughter, she has dance, like summer camp dance right now. Because if you ever have kids and they do any type of extracurricular activities, specifically like dance, soccer, club baseball, all those things, when they tell you the season's over, we'll see you in a month, we'll see you in 2 months, that's a lie. It's never over. So she's been going to dance throughout the week, and on Thursdays my wife works and she has to be there by 12. So I can't really do a show because it takes like 35 to 40 minutes to get to her venue. And then I can't go anywhere because it takes 30 to 45 minutes to get there. It's going to take, sorry, I'm hearing children. It's going to take 30 to 45 minutes to get back and then back and forth. Not worth my time, not worth the gas, not worth the energy. So what I do instead, typically speaking, is because normally I like to try to work out around, 9 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., somewhere around there. There's a gym, a Gold's, that is about a mile away from the dance studio. So I literally drop her off. Then I go to the gym, do my workout. Usually by that time, I have conference calls to do. So then I try to squeeze those out. Now, normally, this show shouldn't have even happened because I had a 3 o'clock call, a 3:30 call, a 4 o'clock call, and a 4:15 call. I called all those people back before I went into the gym, just so I could do this show. So I could have a window of at least an hour and a half, 2 hours to do the show. So I'm just saying, you guys give and take, you guys give a little by coming here and supporting. I try to reciprocate that by just making sure that I'm available to this show. That doesn't mean that I don't have a shit ton of videos to do. I do. Lots and lots of videos that I hope to get out before the DJ Expo because I'm going to go dark. And then in August, my daughter's bat mitzvah is August 31st. Going to be focusing a lot on that. I got stuff to do. I got stuff to make, content to make for that. So anyway, needless to say, I'm trying to make the most of the time that I have. And more importantly, to myself, not to you guys, but to myself. More importantly, I have put an emphasis on making sure that my health is where it needs to be. I'm not saying that I wasn't healthy before, but like getting to the gym in the morning, because if I wait into anything after that, it gets screwed and I end up not going to the gym, or I'm at the gym at, 10:30 at night trying to squeeze in a workout. So I've made it a point to be more involved with the gym. I've been going there, 4 days a week now. It's very important for us DJs, especially, I don't know when your seasons are, okay? But my seasons end of June, start back up first to second week of August normally. I can tell you this, there are things that pop up always in the first couple of parties. One, first couple of parties back, especially me doing a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs, you realize that like new music comes up, but you're not really in that now in the know at that point in time. So you get in and your first couple of parties they're okay at best. You know what I mean? Like you haven't gotten your groove back yet. Also, musical equipment, lighting equipment is heavy. And when you don't work out and then you're like, oh, I guess I'll get in shape during the season, it never really works out according to plan. So I'm just getting a jump on it. And I have a bat mitzvah coming up in August. I don't want to look like I've never been to the point where I look like an obese fat cow. That's never been my thing, but I want to look the best I can. Right. So that's what I'm going to do. DJ Daddy Spin with the $50 super chat. Thank you so much, fam. I honestly appreciate that. That is, if I knew where my horns were, I would play them. Do I know where they are? Let's see. Check. 2, 2, 2. Got to make sure that nothing's still on. Okay, let's try this now. Oh, there we go. Ew. Ah, there we go. The universal signal for you did a good job. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Nice. Yeah. You have to remain active. When we get to a certain age, and I know a lot of us, no, not me, I'm still in my 30s, but a lot of us are getting to a point where we need to start thinking about our futures. Okay. I know when you're 20, like my son, he's going on 19 and he's just doing his thing. And he's like, I'm going to work out and do this. I'm like, oh, okay, son, whatever you say. He's always been like, I have two shapes. I have my shape because I played sports and ran track and cycled and triathlons and all that stuff. So I have me. And then I have, then my wife. My wife has always been, she's soft. That's why I married her. That's the reason. But she has given my son her softness. So he's never going to look like me. He's going to look always like, if he works out, he's going to look like a linebacker, where if I work out, the results are far more obvious. He just kind of swells up. But it's very important that once you start to get to a certain age, and I don't care if it's 30, if it's 40, but by the time you hit your 50s, you really should be working out, trying to add muscle to your physique, because the muscle is going to help you in the long run. It's not just about being thin. It's about actually being, fit. So no matter what you do, swimming is a great workout for building muscle. People don't even realize, but it's one of the best workouts you can do. I have not been in the pool for a while just because I'm trying to get into a steady schedule, and in order to swim, I'm going to have to add a second workout time, whether it be swimming in the afternoon or something like that. Audio One in the building. What's going on, fam? So right now I'm just doing, weights. I just started doing legs. I never did legs before because I was always a track runner. Even when I played football, I was a wide receiver and a cornerback, so I never really did legs. So I'm putting an emphasis on my legs too. Anyway, but I felt great though. I felt great. I hated doing legs when I first started it. It's getting better now, but I really hated them before, like really. But it's getting better. So no matter what it is that you do, if you go to a gym, if you just work out from home, if you're just going on walks, going on hikes are great too. It's just important to get out there and do the work. Now, the work is relative to you. I'm not telling you what you need to do. I'm not even telling you need to go work 4 days a week, work out 4 days a week. I'm not saying that. Just find something that works for you and a schedule that works. Like I said last week, the reason why I find that if I stay consistent and do the 4 days, I will continue to do the 4 days. And then if something happens and I can only do 3, it's not the end of the world, you know? And then I've been going in the mornings because I suck at mornings, absolutely suck at mornings. So this is my way of just kind of flipping it around a little bit, changing my sleep schedule in order to get up in the mornings and do my workouts. That way, when I'm done with my workouts, I'm free to do whatever the hell I want to do. And that's the key, because I think part of my stress, and look, guys, I'm telling you this, but I'm also kind of just expressing what I go through. Okay. As a human being, as a business owner, as a social, influencer, things can really get away from you really fast in this business. You know, people are sending you product. Next thing you know, you look over, you're like, oh my God, I have like 15 videos I need to do. I need to get social stuff out there. I need to get Instagram posts and reels. I need to spend time with the family. I need to work out. I need to answer all of my client emails. I need to go into my meetings and do all these things. It's a lot. So that's why prioritization matters. I want to start producing again. There's all these little things that are like there, but the one thing that kept screwing me is I wanted to make sure that I worked out. And once I got into a pattern there and I get done with things, then I can say, hey, you know what? It's 4 o'clock. I've answered all my calls. I've answered all my meetings, all these things. Besides cooking dinner, which I do, I cook dinner. Besides that, I have time now. And even if my wife's like, hey, you want to watch a movie or whatever, I still have 3, 4, 5 hours of time just for what I need to do. And if anybody's been artistic, if anybody's had any type of like, you're a painter or you're a producer or whatever, you know that you can't just sit down and do something. Like, that's just not the way it works. Creativity just kind of comes when it comes, but usually it has to be, it's like a kindling, you know, there's like some wood and you just, you know, you start up the flame. There's a little smoke coming out. But it's not fire yet. So you have to just keep pushing on that, keep blowing on that little candle till it turns into fire. But that's not something that I personally can't just go, I'm going to go make a bomb ass beat right now. And then I just get on and just start doing it. Like, that's not how the real world works. Just like if you decide, I'm going to paint something. Elgato, I don't need you right now. Cancel. I don't want to install. I hate Windows. Hate Windows. So like I was saying, so what ends up happening is you try to figure out places. Okay, I'll do it right then and there. And then you don't get something done. And then what happens is the worst part of what I'm describing is you get to a point of paralysis because you're like, I know I need to be doing things. I know I should be doing this. I know I should be spending time with my wife. I know I should be spending time with the kids. I know I should be working on a video. I know I should be editing a video. I know I should be calling a client back or checking emails or sending out COIs. All of these little things I know I need to do. And then you end up doing nothing. You end up doing the bare minimum. And I just needed to change that. So first things first, prioritize what's the most important part. Physicality, health, that's the first thing. So that's what I started. after I started to do that, it started to kind of open up my mind more again. Hey, it'd be really cool if I did this. It'd be really cool if I did that. I think I might go to the office and do this. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But if there's just too much stuff around and it's just chaos, you're never going to get anything done. Or more importantly, it's never going to be to the level that you're happy with. And I'm at a point now where I'm like, okay. And I think I'm at a point where, you feel like I'm ready to take on new things, but not until I've cleared up those old things. So there's more content coming. That's not stopping. I got stuff here right now that I need to do. It's called procrastination. It's yes and no. And I agree with what you're saying. It is procrastination, but there are levels to procrastination. Because it's not just procrastination. You might go, I need to do this, but I also need to do this, and I also need to do that. What comes first? And then once you because procrastination is like, oh, I meant to give the dogs a bath, and then you didn't give the dogs a bath. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes around, I'll do it the next day. Like that's procrastination in my book. But then there's a point where you have all of these things, and now you're like, what is the most important thing that I need to do? You find yourself focusing on things. I got and little things that I've done. Like I bought a Steam Deck. It's the Lenovo Legion Go, because I wanted to be able to play games. So I guess what I'm saying to you guys is I wanted to do a lot of things, and I wanted to do things that were good for my mental health. And I wasn't doing anything. Or if I was, it was just bits and pieces. So now I got my little Steam Deck. If I want to play games, if I'm sitting on the couch with the wife and she's watching some dumbass show, because she does watch some dumbass shows sometimes, I'll just pull out my little Steam Deck, play a game while I'm sitting next to her. She does not care what I'm doing. She cares that I'm sitting there next to her. That's it. That's it. So I get a little bit of relaxation. I go to the gym just to work on my nerves, work on my blood pressure, bring everything down so I have a nice, easy day. That's it. But once you start doing those things, and once your mind settles, and you get to a good place, then you start being able to see things. Hey, you know what? Now I'm going to work on that. Now I'm going to work on that. You're not going, oh my God, I need to rush through this and get an answer out for this video. I need to just shoot this video because I need to get a video out. I need to put something on social media. No, we don't. We don't. Every so often, I think about, what if I just stopped? If I stopped doing the social media, if I stopped doing the videos, what if I just stopped? What could I do with the rest of my day? But the social is part of my creativity. So I wasn't doing anything. So I'm not being creative in any respect. PJ in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah. So I am just, I'm spending a little more time on myself. That's it. You guys are equally important, but I'm spending a little more time on myself. It's just what it is. So not sad, not anything. DJ Pro on my Lenovo Go. There you go. Yeah. And that's another thing, the DJ Pro. And it's so interesting because every time I know that I have my video done and I know what I want to do, and then something happens. Like I was talking to Mojax literally, like 2 days ago, and we were chatting it up, and I was telling him some of my issues, and he was telling me some of his, and I'm just like, yeah, see, that's the issue. Not bad, just bouncing it off of somebody else with like experience, and then it just clears your head. That's it. So thank you guys for showing up today. So far, I'm going to be honest with you, the show being in the daytime, in the afternoon for me is good. It's good. I've already gone through everything. I've already done my workouts. I've cleared up my mind, everything. It's a good place. But this is a show about questions and answers, anything DJ related, gear, business, life, anything. That's what we're going to talk about today. I will say this. I know a lot of people were asking last week about the Rain 1 MK2. I'm not giving you any information. I'm just going to say it's coming out sooner than you think. That's it. That's all I will say. Take that with it what you may. So, yeah. Anyway, Steve MC says, what are you going to talk about at DJX? The funny thing is, I'm talking about social media. It's funny. I know it's important. Social media is absolutely important as far as for our business and for what we do. I am, however, the next show that I do has to be different. I need to talk more about other things that are equally as important, because I'm not just a social media person. I do run a very successful DJ business, multi-op, and I think the funny thing about multi-ops, the funny thing about talking to multi-op people, this is the one thing I do recognize. There's a lot of people out there that already have all of their opinions set, and it works for them. So that's all they ever need to hear. And I'm different. I legitimately just want to talk about what works for me. And if somebody else has got something that works for them, I want to absorb it. I want to take that in. You know what I mean? And that's probably the most frustrating part of being a tech influencer. It feels like the moment people see you on YouTube, they will do all they can to discredit you. Like, a lot of people just think that all I do is do social media stuff. And I'm like, well, no, I actually have a pretty big company. We do a pretty big production company. Like, it's kind of a thing. And they don't even know what to do, because they want to assume, they want to put you in a box. I do this for fun. It's always been for fun. Okay, let's see. What's to do? Let me go back up here. Just picked up a pair of yeah, I'm supposed to be getting, they're sending mine out. I think they sent them out either last Thursday or Friday or Monday. So I should be getting them soon. So I'm excited about it, because it's not just for like DJing, like I said, I do a lot of production. I have a MK2, an MPC Live that I've wanted to work off of. It'd be great to just pop that thing right in there if it really is as fast as they say it is. So I'm excited about that. What's your opinion on the Pioneer DDJ SR2, and what's a good next option around that same price point? Well, I mean, the R2, which they don't even make anymore, right? I mean, the Rev 1, the Flex 4. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull up the SR2 before I start throwing out crap that you're gonna be like, no, man. I lost my HDMI cord. Okay. SR2. Okay, so the SR2 would be the baby brother of like the DDJ, the SX is basically what this is. Hold on, let me grab mine. Okay. I. That's all I think about when I hear that. Okay. So, yeah. So this is the equivalent of, oh, what did I do? Off. I don't want to stream. There we go. Okay. Yeah. This is the equivalent of the SX2, just a small little baby version. On the back side, yeah, you have full on. Can I make this any bigger? Yeah, on the back side, you got inputs, so you can flip those to line or phono. So the problem that I have, me personally, is the capacitive jocks. I've moved on from this type of jock. Okay, so I tend to stay away from that, but there's nothing wrong with this one. What would I recommend instead of this one in a 2-channel? With the problem is, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody knows this, but like the SX2 or 3 or 1, and then what was the other one they came out with? Well, the SR2 was kind of the perfect thing. Because of the ins and outs, but they've kind of gotten away from that. Pioneer has. So you're kind of limited in what you can get here. I don't know, PJ, what do you recommend, PJ, for something like this? The DDJ 800. Thank you. That was the what I consider to be probably the perfect controller, was a DDJ 800. And then, but the problem was, it was only for record box. It was only for record box, the DDJ 800. But God, this was a great controller. A great controller. Great controller. You said DDJ 900? So I guess it's a tough one because the ins and outs are the problem. And I know what you guys were saying, because you want to be able to pop the lines in. If you want to run something else, you can. If you need to run an auxiliary or something, you can. But a lot of the newer ones just don't have that. You have to get up to, I'm looking at a Groove 6. It doesn't have it on this. The DDJ 1000, the Flex 10, all have the inputs. Yeah, I think those are the only ones. Oh, the Rev 5. Thank you, PJ. I knew there was one more in there somewhere. Yeah, the Rev 5 is a good controller. I'm actually very impressed with the Rev 5. It doesn't have all the inputs that the SR2 does. I think basically you kind of have to let that go in the smaller price pointed controllers now. From Pioneer, specifically from Pioneer. Can't speak for everybody, but they've limited on what it is. Like, that stuff really applies to, the 1000s and the Flex 10s and so on. So you're kind of limited in what you can do there. But the jogs are very good on the Rev 5. Honestly, it's a really good controller. I can't fault the controller. It's a really good controller, like really good. And it has all the bells and whistles, and you don't even need to use, some of these things that people, they always come out with the new, I don't care about the cookies. They always come out with something new for their controller. You don't even need to worry about that, but it's got everything you need. And this is S7 right here, maybe closer to an S5, S7 hybrid in the middle here. And then you got your DDJ 1000 jogs. And for a lot of people, that say, why doesn't it have full screen and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it is about this particular unit, but these guys right here are highly accurate. And I've been able to work right off of this easily. So I'm a big fan of the Rev 5. Honestly, I'm a big fan. Tweak music tips in the building. What's going on, fam? What is going on? What's going on? So the panel that we're doing at the Expo is, by the way, I just want to point out something. I'm just gonna say this right now. I've gotten confirmation now. Rain will not be at the DJ Expo. So just letting you guys know so you're not disappointed when you go there. They will not be there. But the panel that we're going to be doing on Tuesday, I believe, is the social media panel. And it's going to include Justin the DJ, myself, Kova, mustache guy. I forget his name. Was there one more? I think that's it. And mustache guy, mustache twirler. The reason why I make a joke about his mustache, it's impressive. It's really, really an impressive mustache. And I can't do that. So more power to him. And he's British. So it's like all the best possible mustache twirling you can get. Jack, thank you. Jack, yes. So it should be a good panel. We always have a really good turnout for them. As long as COVID doesn't get in the way and talk too much, we should be fine. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so I need to get up on my content because it's gonna be really weird if I'm sitting there like, yeah, and this is what I do, and this is what I do, and blah blah blah, and they're like, dude, I'm looking at your stuff. You haven't updated in 4 months. I would not be surprised if everything doesn't go up in price. Spen, in all honesty, that's what happens when you have tariffs and inflation. Things go up. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay, let me go back up here. What is a good record pool to find old school vinyl and breakbeats? Can't tell anything. I can't say anything about old school vinyl. Like you want to actually pick up vinyl, you're gonna have to go to a record shop to do that. But like Beat Junkies used to be the best for old school music and breakbeats. I haven't been there in a while, so I can't answer that. But I got all my old school hip hop from them when I used to be a member of theirs. So they were good. Exactly. Okay. Spin Griffey. Is Evolve just going to say summer 2025 all year for the EV70s after a bunch of deep dives and reviews? I've settled on the KC12s. Interesting. That's an interesting, okay, look. KC12 70s. Okay. I actually don't have a problem with those two being together. I don't have a problem with the KC12s, the 70s, and the 44s, the Maui 44s, being put on the same pedestal. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem, and by the way, in case you guys, I told you I was going to get the KC12s. They're sitting in the back of my truck right now. I just haven't been at the office to even test them. But I have two KC12s ready to be tested. It pisses me off because I was trying to get the KC12s for my last wedding. I'm like, hey, I'll pop them on my last wedding. Perfect. It's a perfect way to test them out. But then they came late and now they're like, they need them back by like the 28th. I'm like, I'm not even working again until like the 10th. Can I hold them to the 10th at least? I want to put them on a party with people in bodies. But I will at a minimum, do the video that everybody hates, Why do you do a comparison video of speaker sounds with this cheap ass microphone? There's no expensive microphone that you can get to make any speaker shootout sound good on YouTube. It doesn't exist. That is a magic box that is in somebody's crazy mental mind. Okay? The fact of the matter is, we're not testing the speakers so you can hear every bass note and every frequency. We're testing them so you can hear just the subtleties of it. Because it's really easy to hear if a high sounds good. It's harder to hear bass. Okay, that's for sure. It's harder to hear bass on a microphone. But you can hear highs, you can hear fullness, you can hear frequency range. That's all I'm giving you. And then after that point, you just have to trust me. Because since I'm sitting in the room with the speakers, you get what I'm saying? These people that are like, you can't do this. I'm like, shut up. I'll do what I want to do. I'll do what I want to do. Anyway, so those are coming. I have not heard anything about the new Torres. I will Google it and see what pops up. What's the make and model of the Torres? Okay, let's take a look here. The DDJ XR3? Did you mean the RX3? XR3? Is there an XR3? There is an XR. Oh, that's the one. That's the new one. I'm going to tell you this right now. Pioneer, Alpha Theta, your naming conventions are terrible. they're terrible. But besides that, they make good product. But the naming conventions, terrible. Okay. So okay, let's see here. The RX3, that is the one that came out a little while ago. I probably would still say go with its smaller version, obviously, because it's the 2-channel. But in my mind, I still believe that the AZ is probably a better thing. I know it's more expensive. I get it. And I like the RX3, but certain things are not going to pass through with firmware updates on the RX3. Whereas like the AZ, you're going to get full, it's closer to, like, it has all the new technology. It has all the new software. Software is very important in these types of things because what you buy, you have to assume you're going to keep as far as the software. It's very unlikely that the firmware update is going to completely just change the way a piece of gear works. Okay, that's just facts of the matter. Especially with Pioneer, they do update things. Like, honestly, the Rev 7 update that they came out with, I never thought it would see it come. Never thought it, because they're really about, making the best out of their flagships. And then once new flagship comes around, the old flagship, there's nothing wrong with it. It still works fine, but it's not necessarily going to get the new features of any of the new stuff. But I would say if you can save up a little money, I'd go with the AZ. But if you have all the money, if you don't, different story altogether. There's nothing wrong with the RX3. I actually just used the RX3 a couple of months ago at a nightclub. I was out on the patio and, for whatever reason, it was the only thing I could get to work properly, with DJ at that particular time. AZ is big. This is true. The RX3 is going to be smaller. I would say however, now it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to go out? Trying to take it out on gigs every weekend? That's a whole different story. Is it supposed to sit somewhere? Because the AZ, I find all these flagships, what makes them good, like the AZ, or even like the Opus Quad, is it prepares you for nightclubs. If you end up going to a nightclub and they got CDJ 3000s and, maybe some 900s or an A9 or whatever, you're going to feel more at home if you have something like an AZ at home. It's a good practice board. Now, I'm the first person to tell you I hate heavy ass things. That Rain Performer is about as big as I can go. I have an AZ sitting in the room that I'm about to pull out and drop down and start testing it again. But it's too big for me to take out on parties. To me, it's more like an installation piece. You know, it's for that small club that doesn't want to get CDJ 3000s, but wants to have some stuff that anybody can use. There you go. There you go. DJ Lou in the building. What is going on, fam? Fresh family. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. From London. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Let's see here. Questions. Rain getting real arrogant. Okay. I will give you some tea. Okay. A little tea, just a little bit, a little taste. I have been to the corporate office. I have solid relationships with all of the people that are like involved, you know, the Jakes, the Jason Stouts, all those people that are like really, really involved with like trying to make it work. I've even talked to the owner, you know, nice guy. But I will tell you this, and you can believe me what you want. The people that are in the trenches want what you want. So when I see something like Rain is getting arrogant, it's not Rain. It's not even in music. But the powers that be they dictate what happens. And there's nothing you can do about it. But I can tell you this, the people that are in the trenches want to put out good product. I know this without a doubt. So take with that what you may. Okay. But having said that, I mean, they went to NAMM. I mean, they don't really do a lot of things. And it hurts them. I've told them to their face it hurts them. And they try, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, not going to DJ Expo when you have a secondary Flagship controller on its way out and you don't show up is insane to me. It's insane. That's all I will say. Now, again, I know it has nothing to do with the people in the trenches, but it is insane. It's missed opportunity. Another missed opportunity. Well, what are you going to do? That's their choice. You got to live with it and move on. Well, DJ Mac Attack. So this statement right here, that's the funny thing about it, because they do have stuff to show. But perception is just as important as reality. And if you don't show up, you're left for people to make up their own decisions on what it is that you are doing or not doing. Unfortunately, because this was an opportunity. Without saying anything, it's not in trouble. It's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. Do I think the Rain will hit 2000? I will tell you this. I don't believe I'm on the wrong computer. I don't believe I've even gotten numbers yet. DJ Expo is not as influential as NAMM or ADE. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Obviously tariffs. 100% tariffs. Like that goes without saying that tariffs are the reason. But they always said summer. So we're there. But interesting. I mean, but the fact is they barely even go to NAMM. So, they've had really good success with their influencers spreading the word. Now, I think they've had good success because they've had good products. They've had solid products. Before, I think it was backfiring on them because some of their products were questionable at In Music. Some of their Denon stuff that came out, and they did not get the response that they were looking for. This is I'm going to agree with DJ Lou on this, and that's only because I go to both of them. And yes, the show lights and the paparazzi, that's NAMM. Okay, that's absolutely NAMM. But the worker bees, the people that are actually out there doing the job, that's Expo. It's absolutely Expo. So I feel like the Rain 1 MK2 is a worker product. It's not the flashy, like when you come out with like an Opus Quad, okay? Opus Quad is like a NAMM thing. But Opus Quad at DJ Expo, you know what I'm saying? And I love the Opus Quad, but the Opus Quad is like, hey, look at the cool new thing that we've done. Love it or hate it. Look how cool it is, But the Rain 1 MK2 is second version of a product that's already out. So I don't know. Yeah, DJX is I didn't realize how big DJX was until I started going. It's huge. I mean, and more importantly, they have people there that are ready to buy. You know what I mean? Like they come to spend money. It's one of the only ones that you can actually buy product from. Besides like Mobile Entertainment Expo, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Why do you think they didn't make the Ref 7 able for 4 turntable play? I'm gonna say something that people are gonna agree with or not agree with, but it's just me in my opinion. I don't understand anybody that wants to use moving platters on a Ref 7 and then turntables on the side. That seems dumb redundant to me. So I think that's what they were saying. Why would we want to do this? If you want to use turntables, go buy an S11. Go buy an S9. S7, S9. Anyway, you know what I mean? So I think that's why. I don't personally understand anybody that has like a big ass controller. Like people are like, oh, well, can you bring turntables to the Denon Prime? Like, oh my God, I think it's humongous. Why? What? You don't even have a table that big. Why? NAMM is sensory overload. Absolutely. I think it's funny that I've been going to NAMM for multiple years now. And there are places in NAMM that I still haven't seen because of the amount of stuff that is there. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how big it is. There's stuff I've never even walked into. But it's a carnival. It's a carnival. It is a carnival. But it's a great carnival to be at. I love NAMM. I honestly do love NAMM. Will Pioneer make a 4-channel with Ref 7 or update 4? No. Okay, look. Respectfully. There's nothing wrong with the Rev 7 the way it is. Stop trying to change it. And nobody wants something heavier. The Performer is heavy enough. Look, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? I'm going to be honest. When the Performer came out, it had some really cool features, and then I swapped out my Rev 7 for the Performer. It has made my situation heavier. The sound coming out of it is great. All the stuff is fine. But For me specifically, it has never been my priority to have 4 channels. I don't need 4 channels. Most people don't need 4 channels. You have a random channel just sitting there. And if it has a dedicated auxiliary, then for the most part, like that's what I loved about the Rain 1. The Rain 1 has an auxiliary with an EQ because it doubles as that secondary mic. That's all I really needed. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Between the Rain 1 MK2 and the Rain Performer, Billy Land in the house, what's going on, fam? The only thing I would prefer a 2-channel controller all day, every day. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, the one thing about the Rain Performer, the only thing that the Rain Performer does better than the Rain 1 MK2 that's coming out. The only thing is those little OLED screens. That's it. Those little OLED screens make a world of difference. Being able to look down and see what pad mode you're on and what's in those pads. That is the one thing. Do I need it? No. Is it cool? Yes. But even in like my Danny Max booth, the Performer, it's maxed out. I can't go any farther. I can't. It's done. That's it. And in order to get something anywhere bigger, I have to get a whole new piece of furniture. And it takes up a lot of space within the furniture. So a lot of things that used to have more room don't have more room. But it's the best controller they've come out with, the Rain Performer. Now, the Rain 1 MK2. Anyway, we'll see. We will see. And there's still the Rev 7, which does, I mean, even with the MK2, because of the fact that it had the beat samples up top, you got your stems right there. I'm trying to think. For a lot of people, the Rev 7 is really kind of the perfect controller for a lot of people, including myself. I have no issues with the Rev 7. No issues whatsoever. In fact, I use the Rev 7 since the Rain Performer is in my furniture. If I have to go to a club or go to a space, so I'm not bringing my furniture. You know, sometimes they're like, we have a booth for you. Just bring your controller. I bring a Rev 7. Now, the question is, when the MK2 does get released, am I going to be swapping out the Rev for the Rain 1? That's the big question. That is the big question. I will tell you this. One big thing for me, Rev 5 is perfect. It's pretty good. The one big thing for me that stops me a little bit from saying that the Performer is perfect has nothing to do with Rain. It has everything to do with DJ. For whatever reason, the Rain 1, they didn't put in specialized drivers. So DJ works perfectly with it with your computer or with your iPad. Can't use DJ on the iPad with the Performer. I'm hoping to God that the Rain 1 MK2 does not have specialized drivers that's going to prevent or preclude the iPad from working on it. That's what I'm hoping. So if the Rain 1 MK2 doesn't, and I can use my iPad with it, that's kind of a win-win, because if I'm using DJ on my computer and something goes wrong, I can pop up my iPad. Now I don't need to have like a secondary controller that's like right next to me. It's just easier. That's what makes the Rev 7 good, because the Rev 7, you can use iPad or PC or Mac. And I keep both of them up. And then in the event that I like, oh, I just need to load a song right here, or for whatever reason, it's not loading on this side, or I'm streaming something, it's just convenient. And iPad with cellular is very convenient. Anyway, so that's my issue between the Performer and the MK2, which I don't know yet. I don't know. And I won't know yet. It's like, why are you looking over there? Don't worry about why I'm looking over there. Anyway. Are the OLEDs enough? That's the question. Are the OLEDs enough? The problem is, Carl, if it requires dedicated drivers, you can never use it with your iPad. That's the point I'm making. It has to be compliant in order for that to happen. And the Performer is not compliant. Anyway, all right, let's see here. I'm jumping some questions here. Let me go back. What did Billy Lane say? Billy said, I currently repair more Rain hardware than Alpha Theta hardware. Even with the current markers, the potentiometers aren't holding up. Failed PCUs, in and out boards as well. Now, let me ask you, Billy, and maybe they answered this already. Is there a specific one that you've been seeing that problem with more than others? Like, are you seeing it on the Performers? Or are you only seeing it on the Rain 1? Are you seeing it on the 12s? What are you seeing it on in general with your repairs? Okay. It's all tariffs. It's all tariffs. You know, and a company like Phase is dependent on that price being affordable. Interesting. Billy says the Rain, all of them after the Rain 1 and so on. Interesting. Like I know for a fact that the Rain 4 had problems. I know it had problems. Interestingly enough, the Rain 1 that I have still works just fine. It's in my son's room right now. The Performer hasn't given me any problems as of yet, and I've been using it now for the past year? It's been fine. Interesting. Plastic. The plastic pots falling off. Okay. I get that. That I can see. That I can absolutely see. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back up real quick. All right. Donnie never touches the EQ controls? How in the hell do you DJ? You only use filter as your EQ every time? Interesting. I love hearing about the way people DJ. I mean, the DJ after parties are relative. Sometimes they're good. The last couple of years have been just okay at best, in all honesty. But no complaints. It's just, especially this last year, they weren't that good. Parties were not that good. Okay. John Moose. I start using Serato, and for some reason I feel more inspired when I'm on Serato compared to Record Box DJ. Am I the only one open format DJ that's feeling that way? What's your opinion, Mr. Cleveland? I started with vinyl, and then when they moved to those crappy Denon CD players, I stopped DJing completely. And then when Serato came out, I started using Serato again. So I have Serato's near and dear to my heart. Even though I have not been using it, it's still near and dear to my heart. when the DDJ 1000 came out, it was record box only. So I spent 6 to 9 months on record box as the DDJ 1000 was my specific controller. When the DDJ 1000 came out, SRT for Serato, I moved over. For me specifically, I don't have a problem with record box per se. Like I can DJ on record box, but something about it, and it's funny how you would say inspired, because something about it makes me work harder than I need to. With all the features they have, for all the features that it has, the one thing that it doesn't have for me specifically, I can't stand the way it looks. I can't find my crates. Everything's gray and dark gray, and it's harder for me to find stuff. Every time I would use it, then I would go back to Serato. I can find stuff. Then I go to DJ, and that's just like crystal clear, the whole thing. Now, I don't want to say DJ inspires me, but I like looking at DJ. Serato's my workhorse, but I like looking at DJ, and I like the features of DJ. It's hard, man. It is hard. It is hard. But I understand. Okay. All right. Lehman in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe that's why I don't have those problems. I don't twist too often. I twist when I need to. That was me doing the twist. Tavaya in the building. Got to perform a month ago. I dig it. Yeah. Yes. I agree. It's a good board. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, and everybody always wants to. I am completely impartial to gear. If something's good, I will use it. I'm a fanboy of a lot of gear, but like I treat gear like I treat football. Okay. I'm a lover of football, period. I will watch NFL games pretty much unless they're real trash games, but like, it doesn't matter. I have my team, the Rams. That's my team, but I root for players. If a player is good or I like what they stand for, I just like their ethic or whatever it is, I root for them. I want to see them win. So when I look at like Alpha Theta or In Music, I don't care that it's Alpha Theta or that it's Pioneer DJ or that it's In Music or Denon or Rain. If there's a product within those things, I'm going to support that product. So the Performer to me is a great product. And I don't think anybody out there can say that it's a bad product, just in general. Like I think Alpha Theta would say it. I think, Reloop would say it. It's a great product, but so is the Rev 7. And Rain did something that I know for a fact Alpha Theta has no intention of ever doing, making a 4-channel moving platter controller. They don't want to do that. I know they don't want to do that. So, in a Rev 7, MK2, or whatever they're going to call, whatever new one ever pops up and it comes out, people are going to fawn over that too. That's just the way the world works. You know what I mean? But the Performer's great. I truly believe that a lot of people, unless the number is astronomical for the Rain 1 MK2, I feel like it's going to sell very well. Because in my opinion, from the limited experience that I've used it with so far, from NAMM, so on, it checks off a lot of the boxes that people complained about. Now, would it have been great if they could have just made the mixer section a little bit wider? Yes. Yes, it would have. But did they do it? No, they did not. So for some people, that might be an issue. But in general, I think that Rain 1 MK2 is going to sell very well, assuming the price isn't insane. Just a forecast, just a prediction. When is too much too much? Should we start charging more? When is too much too much? Should we start charging more? Give me more information on this, EGJ. Give me some more information on this, on what exactly you mean when you say that. So before I start just like rambling off on some stuff, let me know. And I'm just gonna run out real quick and make sure the kids aren't dying. So give me half a second here. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you for answering the door. You guys available on July 1st? Yeah, we're available. Do you have a brochure I can take a look at? Here you go. This all looks good. Can you send me out a contract? Here's your contract. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, see here. Just go ahead and sign it and send it in your deposit. Okay. Are you gonna sign it? If you need to take some time, go ahead. Just send it in when you're ready. All right, thank you. Hey, sorry I took a little while, but I'm finally ready to sign the contract. So if you can just send me. Yeah, we are no longer available for that date. You're not available? Sorry. Well, can you recommend another DJ? Okay. Okay, we have a lot of gear adding up, but clients don't want to pay. Okay. All right. I'm going to say something, and DJ Lou was kind of hinting at it, but I'm going to say something that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear. Okay. Here are the facts. All right. The facts about gear. You can never equate, meaning 1-to-1, that if I buy this, I'm going to generate this. Okay. There are certain things that you can, right? Like if I buy some uplights, I can sell those uplights for $25, $35 a piece and make some money. Okay. If I buy this LED wall, I can charge $6,000 to $10,000 and recoup my costs really quickly and then make more money. Okay. You with me so far? If I buy a Gobo projector, I can sell that Gobo projector every week for $300. Okay. It's going to recoup that cost within like 3 rentals. All right. So all of these things are actual money-making things. But if I buy a new piece of DJ gear, a new DJ mixer, a new DJ controller, you know what I can charge for that? $0. $0, because that is not a value-added piece of machinery. Your controller is for you. It's not for them. And in a business, you're trying to make money from the people. And the more you spend on your own vanity projects, the less money you're going to make. You see what I'm saying? So never think about, oh, well, if I buy this gear, I have to raise my rates. That is not why you raise your rates. Okay. It's always value added. All right. At least look, okay, let me back up. For me, I always have to qualify. It's value added for me, meaning that if I buy a pair of white speakers, okay, and a client says, I have an all white party, I have the potential to charge more for those white speakers if I normally bring black speakers. All right. If I have a piece of furniture, Okay. Like a Danny Max booth. And normally I bring Pro-X or facades. They're like, hey, I like that booth. Oh, that booth costs more money. It's more expensive booth. Okay, cool. How much more to get that one? Oh, it's only this much. Okay, great. Let's have it. But you will never, ever be able to argue to a client, well, I have CDJ 3000s and they cost me $6,000. So I need to charge $8,000 because I'm bringing those. They'll go, well, then don't bring those. Bring the other thing. Bring the other thing you mix on. You get what I'm saying? So it's never about the gear. No matter what anybody tells you, it's never about the gear. Clients don't know what good gear is. They don't even know what bad gear is. Clients know what sounds weird or what looks weird or what people are not doing because of your weirdness. You get what I'm saying? Like, if the speaker sounds solid, they don't. Out of all the times that I've done, we do 400 parties a year. 400 high-end parties, not just like 400 parties. If we do a Tuesday party, 400 actual high-end events, right? My clientele is lawyers, industry lawyers, doctors, art, anybody in the art world, like those are my clients, okay? And out of all of those clients, I can count on my hands how many times somebody said, well, what speakers do you use? I can count them on my hand. You've been in business now going on 18 years. So do the math, 400 parties, 18 years. You get what I'm saying? It's not important. It's not as important. Now, if you have to buy something because it makes you feel better, then do it. Absolutely do it if it makes you feel better. But do not equate your purchases with your bottom line. You can't do that. If you want to charge more, give people more. If you want to charge more, make your name the only name in town that is doing amazing parties. That's the only way. When we raised our rates because every client wanted us. We were literally maxing out every time. And we were like, okay, but what if we raised our rates? You're going to lose some people, but you're going to gain other people. But we raised our rates because of the quality of our work. When planners are like, you got to raise your rates. You're too cheap. So-and-so over here is trash. And you run circles around them. Why are you're too cheap? Your cheapness is actually making it harder for me to sell you. You get what I'm saying? So but everything we do, everything, when I want to make more money, when I personally want to make more money, and yes, your prices can go up, okay? Inflation, gas prices, all these things that factor in, you can have living increases, okay? But they're not going to be huge. Maybe you say you're charging $3,000 an event, maybe now you charge $3,500. And then when people say, why are you more than you were before? Well, because every product that I have to get for all of my parties costs more. Gas costs more. Maintenance costs more. Rentals cost more. Oh, I see. Okay. But if you really want to make money, focus on the value addeds. If you're going to buy something, buy things that you can sell on a party. We don't buy anything that we can't sell. Okay, honestly, if we're buying it just for us, it's not worth it from a business perspective. Now, of course, look, we're human beings. We want nice shit. Okay, so the owners get nice shit. Me and my partner will get nice shit. But for everybody else, if it's not making us money, no. Every product we buy, if we can't recoup the cost in 3 rentals, even if it's successful, it wasn't priced appropriately. Our uplights we just did a number on that. We just checked our We just did an analysis from like year to year. Our uplights alone, I want to say generate like $30,000. Just in uplights. Uplights we already have, just sitting there. We paid them off already. Paid them off years ago. So when you're like, I would love to make more money. I'm just saying, you know, you can, and I wish we could do the analysis. Certain things, certain products fall into a hole in our thing where we can't see it without like really digging in. So, but that was the first thing because it's a line item that most people do. You know, we can tell what our photo booths do. We can tell what our uplights do. There you go. See, Jam Master J just did an event. Jam Master J, Jam Master D. Not even DJing, just brought uplights. Everybody win. Run an uplight service. You can't run an uplight service because if you're running an uplight service, you're running a lighting service. And that's a whole different ball game. Kylo in the building, what's going on? It's a whole different ball game. Now, we got into production. So now we started out with the easy stuff, uplights. But now we're doing full lighting installs, table spots, color washes, gobos, like a whole different animal. You know, it's how you make money, you know, and that's the only way that you can get more money without the client being like, oh, I wish I could get with them, but they're just too expensive. Compliment, Lou? Is that what you meant to say? Employee compliment? I don't even know what that means. DJ Lou, too smart for me. Oh, thank you. Number of employees. We have on the books, I want to say somewhere around 95. Somewhere around 95. Now, they don't all work every week, obviously, but somewhere around 95 that are on the books. Victor Manley in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see here. Reputation, experience, presentation, professionalism, command, higher price. But I think demographic has a lot to do with it. Yeah, I wouldn't tell you if you're in a community that every DJ out there charges $500 for a party. You can't expect to charge $3,000. You might get some work, but you're not going to consistently get that work, especially in the beginning, you know. But sometimes if everybody else is 500 and then you're 1,500 to 2,000, maybe you start picking up some of those higher end clients that only see dollars as quality. And that's a thing. That's a real thing. You know, there are people out there that will not even book you if you seem too cheap. They don't want your deals because they want to make sure, well, if you're charging that much, you must be good. Now, you have to validate that claim. You can't just charge that much and then be trash, because that can backfire on you just as much as you charging too much or not charging enough. It's ebbs and flows. We have to do a cost analysis probably in December. We'll wait and see what happens with all the stuff before, because right now, nothing in the market, whether it be inflation, clients, whatever, nothing out there is hurting us yet. So we don't have to raise our rates. People are raising their rates just because. We're not going to do that. And not to mention, one of the things that happens when you have high paying clientele is they are less susceptible to the economy. And whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, the one thing I will tell you is my clientele is going to win big with this big bill. So from that perspective, I might hate the bill and hate everything about it and everything it stands for, but my clients, those super rich, are going to have a lot more money to spend on their parties. So that's what happens when you get into those secondary and third markets. So yeah, we're good so far. All right, let's see here. If I find out what a DJ charges, I always give a higher price, not lower. What does that mean? So a client calls you and says, hey, so-and-so, I'm looking at you and him. He's 1,000. What do you charge? And you're like 1,500. That's what you're saying? If it works, man. You don't undercut. Absolutely. I'm the first person to be like, how much are they charging? That's a really good price. You should book them. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you don't want to book them? Then you pay my price or you walk away. Or am I too expensive? Okay, cool. Let's get rid of this and this and this and this too. There you go. Oh, you don't want it now because it removes all the stuff that you find valuable. Sounds to me like I'm not in your price range. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. But your price is your price. Like when we do bar mitzvahs, we don't do, you have to have dancers, right? And people are like, well, what if I don't want dancers? Then you're not booking us. Yeah, but my people dance. You can guarantee that? You can put that in a contract and guarantee that your people dance? That you don't need our help to get these people up? All we got to do is play music and they will do their thing? Sorry. I've seen way too many times where you've said that and then we get there and you got an MC trying to wrangle up 200-300 people. No, thanks. You're going to do our dancers or you're not going to book us. It's okay. It is okay. There's tons of a la carte DJ services out there that you can hire. It's okay. Because I would rather not do your party if you're going to take away my tools. Oh, we don't need dancers. It's fine. Well, now my MC is alone and working his ass off and not getting nearly the things he could have gotten had he just had the dancers with him. So no, we're not going to do this party. We're not going to take it. You don't want my money? I don't want to mess with my brand. You're one party. You're not all the parties. And when I tell you that bad information is far worse, travels faster than good, that's what happens. I'd rather walk away from your shitty ass party. That's it. You know? It's funny because like literally I'll do, I always find it hilarious that my easiest clients are the ones that have the most money. They're less demanding. They let you do what you're supposed to do. They let you do what they hired you for. For the most part, they listen to you. They trust you. Then we get down to the lower end clients that try to micromanage everything, to try to tell you how to do your job, make your life a living hell, when it should be the exact opposite. That's what's so bizarre about this. It should be the exact opposite. A cheaper client that you've given a deal to should be like, you bring whatever you want, I trust you. I'm just glad you're on my party. That's what a cheaper client should do, but they don't do that. So bizarre. So bizarre. I mean, did you really want that party, Jam Master D? You gave him a crazy deal on all the lighting and wireless microphones. Probably a deal that is cheaper than what you even wanted to offer. You know what would happen? You'd be on that party, doing a good job, of course, but you'd be annoyed the whole time. You'd be annoyed the whole time. And then you have to start looking at things. How much money did you actually make? And was it worth all the stress? If somebody wants to pay me $10,000, $20,000 for something, feel free to stress me out. But you don't get to stress me out under $1,000. Sorry. You do not get to stress me out. And anything less, I'm not even leaving the house. I see some people, and again, it's all relative. My number is $1,000 to get me out of the house, no matter what it is. Unless it's like DJing a nightclub, and then that's different altogether. But like to do an event where I need to bring speakers and set up and then be there early and, break down and all, you can't get me out of the house for under $1,000. I don't care what the party is. It's a pool party. It's $1,000. Oh, it's only this. It's $1,000. You're not doing anything. You're just playing $1,000 background music. You're only using one speaker. There's only 20 people. $1,000. Matthew in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. It's been a minute. We as DJs should make sure that we are providing value that justifies the price. This can be done via social media, YouTube, etc. The way the client will see the value and the price is justified. I think it's one aspect of it. I do. I mean, obviously, I've gotten multiple bookings just off of the way my website looks and the way we keep current content up on social media. Oh, they must be good. Every party I see on their pictures. And it's not just like, there's nothing worse than like going to a page from a DJ and then like, there's like a really big party. Okay. And you're like, oh, maybe these people are good. You start scrolling. You see another big party. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. That looks the same. Wait, is this just a different angle of the same party? And then you go to the next one. This is the same party. They got like 8 videos of the same party. You look at the date. It's all the same date around the same time. I'm like, you haven't done any parties? You haven't done a single party in 4 months? That was the last time you updated 4 months ago? Really? That's the kind of thing that I question. So anyway. They're going to tax the hell. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problems with just in general. I have a number. That's it. Maybe when you're younger, the number's lower, but I have a number. Now, if it's something that I want to do, it's DJing a nightclub, just to get some fun in and get some practice, whatever. Maybe I work for $300. That's a choice. That's a choice. You know what I mean? Like, that is my choice. No rant today, Steak Farm. We're just talking. See, this is the energy you get when I'm like wide awake and I don't even take anything personal. I don't have that morning. What'd you say? What'd you say about me? What'd you say about my mama? just getting offended over everything. Is Newmark dead? No, they are not. Do you want them to be dead? They're just, look, this is what I know. This is what I believe anyway, not even what I know. They put a push on Newmark products. And during the time they were pushing Newmark products, they weren't pushing Rain products. Okay. They were barely pushing Denon products. So that kind of became the go-to. People were kind of assuming, oh, I guess this is where they're putting all their stuff in. And then they made an emphasis. Right now, the emphasis is on Rain. It's not on Newmark. It's just on Rain. Getting Rain back up to that level of respect that they had before it was purchased by In Music. It's getting there. It's getting better. It's getting better. The worst is you go to a DJ website and they have images that they stole from. I can't tell you how many websites I've gone to and been like, can you please remove my footage? No, that's our footage, bro. That's my MC right there. That's me fucking DJing right there. Can you take it off? Oh, so many times. And especially the one thing that you will see, a lot of people that like, they're not DJing anymore, but maybe they're doing lights. Maybe they're doing the video, or they're doing the video wall or something like that. And then they'll just take your stuff and be like, look at the party we did. It's real easy to do it. It's real easy to do it. Yeah, they're shady like that. The M4 Mac is still shutting off my camera. Yes, because I haven't even gone into the settings. This is my M1 that's sitting here right now on my desk, which I'm literally, once I get my music back on here, that's going to be my, I'm going to go back to DJing with this one exclusively when I'm out. The M4 will be at my desk, will be for the video walls and any type of like video editing type stuff. Okay. All right. I will sometimes give my minimum price to someone and then tell them because I like them, because I support their organization, that I will do it for a discounted rate. Okay. Absolutely. Now, look, again, remember what I'm saying here. And Matthew's a perfect example. It's a choice. He's making a choice. Like for instance, sometimes when I have a Saturday night, okay, and I have 7 parties already on the books, and then an 8th client comes in and is like, I don't really have a lot of money. I like to do this, or it's for, a benefit or something like that. And like, okay, you know what? I'll keep one of my guys working. I'll send him out. But I've already made my money from that weekend. So this is just a win-win. You got it? But if I have one party and somebody's like, yeah, can you give me no, I'm not giving you a deal. No. And I've been to your house. You're not getting a deal. You have so much more money than me. You're not getting a deal. So much more money. My clients are beyond rich. My clients, when we're talking about I was talking to a client earlier today, we're talking about the bat mitzvah. And she's like, oh, you should think about going to this venue. This venue gives you everything and it's all done. And I'm like, first off, that venue, just signing the contract is $30,000. They don't even get it. I'm like, no, I need my venue to cost me like $3,500. I'll bring in everything else. I need clean bathrooms in a room with air conditioning. Like, I'll do everything else. People just have so much money. So much money. All right. I think we're okay for now, but it's coming. It's coming. Okay. When you take on a new employee for Check 1 2, what are some of the pet peeves you have for that new DJ? Don't touch your, I don't have any pet peeves. I don't have pet peeves for new employees because I don't assume that any new employee is going to come in amazing. I always assume they're going to screw up. Or they haven't learned the way we run things. So I don't have a problem with it. Pet peeves. I don't like people that talk too much. That's probably my biggest pet peeve. Listen. I need you to listen. I don't need you to talk. I need you to listen. But I have staff for that. I have management to train the dancers, to train the MCs, to train the DJs. So I don't have to deal with that. I only deal with sales. That's it. So by the time I see them, they better be solid. I mean, we all have pet peeves. I just don't know. I just look. Besides our MCs and our DJs, what you will learn about dancers, especially if you have to go get them, turnover is huge. We have our core dancers. We have a core dancers of like, I want to say we have our core of like 25 to 30 amazing dancers. Our DJs and our MCs always work, right? So, but after we get past that 25 to 30, now we are dealing with people that are just okay. Maybe they still need work. Maybe we just needed a body in the space. There's always something, you know? So, I don't know half people that work for me. I'll go to a party. They're like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, good to meet you. See you. Talk to you again. Yeah. I don't know them. Can you just get on the dance floor and do your job, please? No list. Don't try to bait me. Bait myself. All right. This is going to devolve into something bad in a minute. All right. Do dancers require baby oil? Why is a liar's the most important thing to find out when booking a DJ gig? Uh-oh. Hold on. Where is the party being held and how many people will attend? That's a good way to gauge what you should quote. I agree. And that's always the first question. Where and how many? Day or night? I agree 100%. You know, and that's why, I mean, it's a little harder now to see people's homes because I don't do face-to-face visits anymore. I do Zoom. But I've been doing this a long time. I know when a Zoom house looks good and when it doesn't. You know, they're in their office. I'm like, I see you. Yeah, you don't see that. I see that. I see the clock back there. Anyway. At what point monetarily does it make sense to hire a manager to handle all those things versus yourself? When you can no longer make money. When you're spending so much time doing stuff that you can't make money, you can't make new money, that's when it's time. And it's hard, it's hard to figure that part out. It really is, you know, but, cause sometimes it's not just about the money. It's about the burnout. It's about the stress of it all. And sometimes that's why you make more money. So you can, there's two ways. I mean, you make more money to make more money, right? And then if you bring somebody in, you're going to make less money. But if that person you bring in is so good at their job that they end up boosting the quality of said employees because you can't do it because you're tired or you just have no patience, then you're going to end up making more money in the long run. So everybody wins. But there's no point where you're like, I'm making enough money now. It's time. You get what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't exist. You just kind of know when you know. When it feels like you can personally do no more, it's probably time for a person. Sam in the building, what's going on? Buy back your time. Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that. That's another thing I want to do more. Read. Anyway, I was in Palm Springs at a friend's house. We did a whole weekend over Mother's Day. She's like, I have this book that I think you'd like to read. And She gives it to me, and then we go back. Rich people, okay, like they have their Palm Springs house on the golf course, then they have a whole spare house. So I took the book back into the spare house, and I'm reading. I read like 9 chapters, and I was like, "This is nice." Got the book, using the pages, and then you leave, and you're like, "I don't have time to read." Anyway. Yes. And I got what you said, Lou, and I agree. 100%. I agree. All right. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. We got 10 more minutes, then I'm getting off. Pause. Or not pause. Did he pause? Can you get off and get off at the same time? Double did he? Anyway. These are facts. These are so many facts. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that level. I don't know. But sure would be nice. And the level, you know what the funny thing about making a lot of money is? I don't personally care. I mean, I like to be comfortable, right? But I don't require a lot of things. Like, that's just me. It's the women in my house that require a lot of things. So I realized the extra money that I make, let's say I make a shit ton of money, the extra money is just to buy my wife things. It has nothing to do with me. It's just to buy her things. She's happy. I'm happy. That's it. That's it. I'm fine. I don't need much. You know? I just need a nice car with good power. I don't need much. You pause on things that sound gay, not sexual. Diddy is both. So, okay, Lou. So yes, you're correct. He's correct in this. There is a range that you should be adjusting for the amount of stuff that you have to provide. Now, we're different because our packages are based upon the same thing. It's based upon numbers, but it's also based upon like the amount of dancers. Like, oh, you have 100 to 130 people. Okay, you need the 2 dancer package. Oh, you got 150 to so on. Okay, you need 3. Oh, you got 200 plus. Okay, you're gonna need 4. And every time that package increases, everything increases. The lighting changes, the sound changes, the minimum sound changes. All of these things change. So it's built in to our packages, but yes, same thing. Same thing. Philip in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. By the way, who's going to the DJ Expo? Who's going? Who's going out there? Let me know. If you have a question, you should probably just ask it, Elder God. Put in the chat who's going. Put it in the chat. Lehman's always at Expo. And he loves to hang around the Pioneer booth. If I need to find Lehman, I just go to the Pioneer booth and he's there. All right, Reddick's going. CJ Reddick's going. CJ, what do you go by? What is your DJ name? It's got to be Riddick, right? It's Riddick. It's got to be Riddick. It's got to be Riddick, right? CJ in the mix. You're not using Riddick? Man. I feel like that's a wasted opportunity. Jam Master J, I heard a DJ say once charge 10% of the cost of every piece of equipment you take. Okay. We can play the numbers. All right. You bring a rain performer. So that's $2,000. That's $200 right there. Let's get some calculators going. Hold on. Let's see if that's accurate. Actually, here, let's do this. Let's do this. That's racist. That's racist, Keith. All right. I haven't been on this computer in so long. Things are just like popping up. Okay. Why is it so big on the screen? Pause. That is so weird. Okay. All right. So we're going to say, what do we need here? We need a controller. We need a microphone. We need maybe a mixer. We need a, let me get this a little closer. All right. We need a booth of some kind. We need speakers, sub, speaker top. We need cabling. We need some sort of lighting, DJ lighting. What else do we need? What else do we need? Controller, microphone, mixer, booth, speaker sub, speaker top, cabling, and then we'll just call it random accessories. Okay. We got $2,000 controller. We got a $1,000 mic. The mixer is relative. It could be, we'll just say $300 mixer. The booth is relative, but we'll say what, 500 for the booth. One decently good sub. If we're not even talking, if we're just talking point source, what would we say? $2,000. So 2 subs would be $4,000, and then a top would be $1,000 a piece. So $2,000 for tops. Random cabling. Even if you go through Amazon, you're going to need at least 4 XLRs, which will probably cost you $100. You need Nutric or PowerCons, depending on, that might be more expensive. So we'll say $500 in cabling. Lighting. You need at least a gig bar or JMAS. So what is that? $1,500 right there. This is not even tax related. We're not even gonna do taxes, but let's say you update and now you got, we'll do a little higher priced one. We'll call this movers and stand. Movers are going to cost you $1,000 a piece, plus the stands, depending on which ones you get. So we'd say, maybe they are, we'll say 3,000. All right. And then random accessories, we'll say $1,000 in random accessories. That could be speaker poles, higher end ones, all that stuff. Okay. So this one here, we're going to move to this side over here because we don't know if we're going to use it. We're just going to call the base, and we're going to drop this down to 500 for random accessories. Yeah. Oh, laptop. Thank you. Laptop. That's $3,000. I mean, we could say 2,000, but we'll say 2,000. We'll try to be. All right. So oh, forgot one. All right. So that is $14,300. So 10% of that, what is that? $1,043? $1,043. The music. Good call. Good call. The music. Which you can't even like put a number by. Because, I mean, are we talking about from start to finish? But just equipment alone, just to show up, is at least $1,000. So $1,043 should be, give or take, the equivalent of what it takes to get you there. So my number is right. My number is right. You should not be leaving the house for under $1,000. My number is right. Okay, now, I mean, obviously, we haven't even factored in, yes, what it costs to get you there, the time, all of those things are not even factored in. So now we can try to play it. We can try to play this simple game, which is going to be harder because this is relative controller. So this is like mid-level mixer booth, because in reality, I mean, how much does my Danny Max booth cost? It was like $3,500, somewhere around there. We'll say $3,500. Speakers. Now, if we're talking about column arrays and all that stuff, it's still gonna be about $6,000. It might be if we're doing, you know, RCF, maybe this is more like $8,000. Cabling is fine. DJ lighting. Let's flip this over and say we just got a little upper 3,000, which includes stands, and your laptop is far more expensive. And then your music. So right now we are at $2,000 just to leave the house. $2,000 just to leave the house. And that's how I look at it. I don't look at it like you should be charging 10%. I think that this is what it costs just to get you out of the house. Now, we take that. Remember when I said $1,000? Now you factor in $100 for gas, another $150, you know, for mileage. You factor, and this is stuff that's on top of this. So 100 for gas, 150 for mileage, you know, that's 250. You got to eat, you know, you're at probably, let's say, you know, 275, $300. You got to eat. And then your skill sets, your time, all of these things. When people walk out and they're like, I charge $750 for 4 hours. If we're doing the math that we're talking about here, because I know that there's the reality of people that they only have so much money, you know, and then the demographics you are, the location, all of these things play into it. So I know this, but not bad for a rough estimate though. Not bad. Maybe now in reality, I think, oh, so then in reality now it's 20%. If we did it all for 10% and it was $1,000, it's at least 20% of the gear you bring with inflation. And that 20% should get you to the place. Elder God, I have not forgotten about you. I'm gonna get up there. Give me a second. You want prime time. There's a whole tipping area that will get you noticed a lot faster. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying. Okay. All right, let's see here. Oh, let me get back to my keyboard because I can't do it off of this. Okay, Elder God, let's see where you are. Okay. Oh, that's not the question. That seems like part of your thing here. Because I just became an ordained minister. I just made the perfect little wedding package for $600 to $1,500. Would it be fair to charge this much? I'm essentially doing two things on the go. So you want to do the wedding and then do the wedding? Is that what we're saying? Here's the thing. It is 100% relative to your clientele. You know, I can say that doesn't seem like enough, or it seems like too much, or it seems like just right. It depends on your clientele. That's not even an answer that I can give you, because like for a wedding, even for just like a one man, like that's $2,000 at minimum right then and there. You know, so if you're gonna do their wedding also, and I know that the ministers and wedding officiants, there's a fixed rate. I know that, and if that's the fixed rate of $600, then that means you're only charging $900 for the wedding itself. And is that a typical, 6 to 7 hour wedding? I would question that a little bit. I would say 2,000. That's what I would say. But I don't know your market. So I can't. So when I'm saying this, take it with a grain of salt for your market. What do you think of other DJs are using? What do you think other DJs are using for their calculations for charging $25 to $50 an hour? I think Lou says Rody. Yeah, I think that anybody that charges that amount is honestly looking at it just for the job perspective, not for the artistry involved. Because anybody can go in and play a song down a list. That's not what they're paying you for. They're paying you for your skill sets, your ability to read the crowd. So if they want your skill sets, your skill sets aren't $25 an hour, in my opinion. Now, if you're new, you want to charge that, whatever, just to get your name out there. I never have an issue with anybody. That's why I don't question rates. Your rate is your rate. But if somebody's like, I charge $500 for 4 hours, okay. I wouldn't personally do that. But if that's your market, or if nobody knows you, and now this is your opportunity to like get known. Oh, this is really great DJ. He's only $500 for 4 hours. He's amazing. You do enough of those parties, and next thing you know, all of a sudden you're $750, and then you're $1,000, and people are like, he's still worth it. She's still worth it. That's how I look at it. Just marketing. So you do you. You do whatever it takes. I'll leave the house for under $1,000 for a local high desert backyard party for like $450 to $700, but my DJ work isn't what pays my mortgage, so I can't. Not a lot of dollars up here. Exactly. This is my point. Your number might change, and that's why when people are like, well, what do you charge for this? And I'm like, well, I charge this. Okay, I'm going to charge this. Can you? Are you sure? Are you sure you can? And I say the same thing for wedding DJs like Lou. You know what Lou charges for his wedding packages is higher than what I charge for my wedding packages. Now, I don't do a lot of weddings, okay? I do bar and bat mitzvahs. But what I'm saying is he's created this space for himself to be able to charge that. You know, I'm sure I could charge that. I'm not saying I can't, but I'm saying that's not my market. That's not my market. So, if it works for them, I'm not going to walk in and be like, well, I only charge this. I just had this with a very high-end client, exclusive client just recently. And I'm like, this is the number. And they're like, he doesn't think that's not in their budget. So what's in their budget then? Let's find the middle ground. Like if you tell me your person is a superstar, you don't get to see. If a superstar calls me, and they do, okay, and that's not ego, that's not flex, that's just the facts. If they call me and let's say they have a party planner and they call me and they got money, I'm assuming that party planner is going to say, I want to handpick the MC. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay. You're going to do the guaranteed prices. Now you're up to, $7,000, $10,000. Okay. If that same person called me directly and was like, yeah, I don't really care who I get. I just want this. It's bar mitzvah for my kid, blah, blah, blah. We're having it here. Guess what? They're going to pay the normal rates as everybody else. Because you're not trying to just make money off of people. You're just trying to be fair across the board. And that's how I work. And I truly believe that's why we've been in business for as long as we have. Because people know that when I give them a number, I'm not trying to just take advantage of them. I never oversell. Ever. Never. Ever. When we raised our rates, in the details, it broke down exactly why our rates went up. I didn't need to. Everybody's rates were going up. I can just raise my rates. I didn't need to, but I did because transparency is important. Trust is important. All we have is trust in this business. Honestly, I'm going to sign a contract 2 years from now with the understanding and hope that you're going to show up, not just show up, but do a good job and make my party the most memorable thing that I've ever experienced. That's trust. There's nothing in writing you can put down to guarantee anything. It's just trust. Lou says, and remember, if things break, if you go out at an event and you only charge $600 and you accidentally end up breaking your $2,000 controller. Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that should also be in your cost. Repair prices should be in your cost. 100%. I mean, we don't even think about it. When something breaks, replace it. But it's like replace it. Is what it is. That's the cost of doing business. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Nobody's making you DJ. You want to do it. Now, it could have started out as a hobby, but now it's a job. Yeah, you came in late, day night. We already talked about that. We already talked about that. Okay, hey, you're welcome. You're welcome for the free game. Now, I'm not the one that'll ever tell you that I know everything. I don't know everything. I learn as I go too, just like you guys. I make mistakes just like you guys. But I think the difference is, and I'm not saying the difference between you and I, but the difference for me is when I make a mistake, I correct it. I don't make that mistake again. If I get burned, I correct it. Then I don't get burned again. That's the whole thing. Oh, well, you said this. I got to change the way I say that. Well, you wrote in the contract this. I got to change the way I write the contract. Well, you said I can't do that anymore. My whole job is to be as specifically ambiguous as possible. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? As specifically ambiguous as possible. That's the job. That's the job. You don't paint yourself into corners. You don't say something that you don't make promises you can't keep. You do the best you can with what you have in front of you. But the moment you start swearing up and down, I do this and I do this, and this never happens at my party because I do this and I do that, guess what? It's going to happen on your party. So, the only thing you need to tell people, and this is what I live by, when they're like, I want the best party. I'm like, we're gonna work as hard as we can. We're gonna do the best we can for your party. We're gonna swing for the fences. I want the best party. What are my guarantees? We're not gonna quit. That's your guarantee, that we're not gonna quit. But I cannot, and nobody can, guarantee that your party is going to be successful. And more importantly, your party is going to be what you envision as successful. Because what you envision and what I know to be true may be two different things. So don't tell anybody, oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure. That's some party planner stuff. Party planners love to do that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's a night you never forget and blah blah blah. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because when it isn't, it could be your fault. It could be something else. All you can do is make the most out of what's in front of you. If you were like, I guarantee you all this, right? Oh yeah, and we're going to do this and we're going to do this and the timing's going to be this and we did the schedule. We're going to follow the schedule perfectly every second, every minute. And then what? You get there, the venue's trash. They're slow to everything. Food's coming out late. Food's coming out early. You got a power outage. Yeah, the bride and groom are still not in the room. You know, all these little things that just come with doing a live event. It's a live event. I think we forget that too, but it's a live event. Nothing is perfect in a live event. So why do you think yours is? There's no such thing. Anything and everything can happen. You're having a great time. Everything's partying. Bam. Grandpa has a heart attack. You know, everything's great. Everything's great. Bam. Somebody slips, breaks their knee. Got to call the hospital. You know, you're doing your thing, lighting, power. Something's going wrong with the venue. Don't do it. It's a recipe for disaster. And by the way, like I said before, I know that there's usually about 2,000 to 3,000 people that will end up watching this replay. Okay, the live replay is usually like around 400 to 500 people just in general from in and outs. Right? It'll usually do somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000. So 2,000 and 3,000 people will never hear this. But you did. You get what I'm saying? 2,000 and 3,000 people will 2,000 and 3,000 people will hear this. Probably only 10 to 20% will actually try to implement this. So why not, find the gems that work for you? I'm not saying every gem works for you. Find the gem that works for you and implement it. See how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to listen and trust everything I say. Some things may only apply to the things that I do. But business is universal. And the things I'm telling you here for your DJ business are the same things that would apply if you had a tattoo shop, if you had a pharmacy, or a mom and pop grocery store. The same stuff applies. And you can do it. You can do it. Okay, so let's see here. It is the 10th. It is the 10th. I will obviously be back next Thursday. I will continue to do these Thursdays until my daughter switches into her full, back to like I don't know, her real dance classes, which I think start in like 2 weeks. I don't know what her times are just yet, so we'll work that part out. But in all honesty, I kind of like this 3 o'clock. What do you, I mean, honestly, I know some people, it's late at night for some people like Mixmaster G, you know, Mojax is absolutely sleeping right now. But like, you know, what do you think? Do you prefer this time or do you prefer the morning / afternoon time? Let me know in the chat before we disconnect, and hit that like too, as you're letting me know. Hit that like on your way out. The videos that I absolutely have coming. They're still coming. I have a DJ video, algorithm DJ. I have that's coming first. Then I have the Phoenix Pro video, Phoenix Pro, the PTAU 2. That's coming out along with their fan extenders. And yeah, because I can literally just change the time and then make Thursdays my meetings from like 11 until 2:30, and then do the show at 3 o'clock. So anyway, we'll try it that way. We'll see. We'll see how this works for a little while. What else do I have? That video can't come out until next month. Oh, the KC12 video, which I have in my truck, that one will come out soon too. And the KC12 video, and I'm gonna do a couple more. I need to do a little research before I do them though, because there's something that's been pissing me off in the DJ industry. So I'm gonna do some research. Oh, Jeff wants to say earlier shows work for me because I'm not at home with the wife who wants to talk and ask me stuff. Maestro canceled. What does that mean? Maestro canceled. Did I miss something? I still have a Maestro to review. What do you mean? What does this mean? Can't just say that and not tell me what that means. I know that Kylie was here. I don't recall seeing anything on Kylie's thing. Oh, no. Absolutely not. I'm still doing the Maestro review. Here's the problem with Maestro, okay? It's simple. The problem with Maestro is, for me, just for the review, I can't do a Maestro review in my house. That's like perfect possibilities. I got to do a Maestro when I'm in different venues, because then it'll tell me how well it actually works. That's why. That's the only reason. So I can't do a Maestro completion video until I get back to work in August. That's it. But we will definitely get it done. And then, yeah. So listening on my Meta Glasses, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay. Guys, girls, what a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I got tons of energy. Helps working out in the morning too. Tons of energy. I will see you guys next Thursday, and hopefully, I have to pull content in order to finish both the Phoenix Pro video, because I have tons of content from people singing on the microphones and all those things. So I need to do that. And DJ requires visuals. So it's not like me just talking about DJ, because people will be like, why are you just talking about it? Come on, man. Show me what the problem is. So I got to do that. Anyway, I get it, Mixmaster. I get it. Well, you know, we'll play around with it. I don't know if I can do a every other week, one's a morning show, one's a night show type thing, or an afternoon show. Maybe we can do something like that. I got to figure it out. Anyway, I am going to go because I got kids in the pool and I got to make sure they're still breathing. So I will see you guys next week. What is today? Today is Thursday. I don't work at all. I am going to, tomorrow I'm going to see Jurassic World. It's for a friend's birthday. I had no intention of going, or Jurassic, whatever, that one. And on Saturday, I'm going to see Superman. I was trying to go today, but then my wife got home late. Or was getting home late, so we couldn't see it today. I saw How to Train Your Dragon yesterday. And by the way, I absolutely loved it. Now, if you love the animated movie, it's like beat for beat, but it's a fantastically done live action version. Fantastically. Yes, I'm very excited about Superman. Most of the reviews have been really good, except for some people are just angry at the world. I don't do D-Box. I don't do any of that crap. I just want to sit with a nice big theater, clean, and has good popcorn. I'm simple that way. And then what's coming out next? Fantastic Four. But it's a good month. It's a good month for movies. It's a good month. A 9. So I have learned, I don't trust a lot of people when it comes to movies. Like a lot of people have no idea what the hell they're talking about, or they don't really watch movies like I do. Like I watch movies. I choose movies over TV shows any day of the week. And there's a lot of things that I got to make sure that are, perfect. Mixmasters, he's on the same type as me. We've been hitting those same spots. So, I trust him. I am scared of Fantastic Four a little bit because I just don't know if they're at the point they need to be yet. They've been making strides. They've been getting better and better. I'm still not sure though, because where there's one, good Thunderbolts, there's a Captain America that's just okay at best. So Thunderbolts was good, but nobody went and saw it. I'm hoping Fantastic Four opens the door and then moves on from there. So we'll see. But I'm going to watch it. I got my AMC pass. I'm good. The kids are dead now. I might as well keep talking. I'm playing. So anyway, all right, guys, I got to run. I got to do the dad thing. I will see you guys soon. If you have parties this weekend, we do have one party. I might try to swing by. I got to see what my partner's bringing. I might, because he's there at 12 o'clock. If I can get there at 12, set up with the KC12s, test them out for an hour or so, and then go, I may do that. I got to figure it out. But if you guys have great parties this weekend, have great parties, obviously. And I will see you guys soon next week, probably the same time as today. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the movies. Peace out.